Martin, hi Martin Reinert. He says, if I go down from aiming at 20,000 to 15,000 in profits, would it still be okay to use priced? Would their offer price still be okay? Okay, Martin, you want to always spot check the pricing that you get from the software. So I trust priced city pricing for 5 and more acres, and so I'm looking at the acreage tiers more than I'm looking at the price. Okay, David Jr. says a friend of mine is trying to purchase 20 to 45 acres of land, and she keeps coming up with sellers that want to do owner financing, 215,000 at 10% interest. Is this a good deal for her? There's a lot to that question. Yeah, I would just have to do the math. I mean, I don't know what she bought it for. So why don't you private message me and I'll take a little bit more time to understand the situation. Alan Laughlin asks, are you wholesaling most of your deals or are you actually buying some of them? I do end up buying some of them. My goal is to more or less wholesale. Now, what I do is not wholesaling, but it closely resembles wholesaling. I am closing on every deal, but my goal is to also turn around and sell it within a few hours. I'm trying to close on it to purchase and to sell on the same day. And I'm using transactional funding for that. But there are times when I don't have a buyer, but my contract is expiring and the seller doesn't want to extend it. If it's a really good deal, so it has road access, it has utilities, or if it otherwise looks very promising, I will go ahead and purchase it. Regina Brown asks or says we are stuck with some $8,000 to $20,000 lands that are not selling and they're in the mountains. Need to investigate why they're not selling. County has bought and sold records well in Zillow. The records are in Zillow. Okay, well, it's hard to really speculate exactly what's happening here, but usually if it's not selling, it's probably related to either access or price. In my case, I'm trying to, sell the property for 75% of retail value, so price wouldn't be an issue. And because I'm buying it at 25%, I could still double my money if I came down to 50% of retail value. So you have to be really willing to drop your price. I'm sorry you're stuck with those. I know that's frustrating. Make sure you get it on the MLS. So either hire an agent or use a flat fee service to get it listed because that's where most people are looking. You can also post it into Facebook groups, like buy sell groups in that general area. Thanks, Cheryl, saying I'm glad you're here. I enjoyed your book. Alan says, how much is transactional funding? I mean, well, it's just a line of credit. In my case, I'm just using a home equity line, and I think my interest rate's 5%. I could probably get it even lower than that, but that's just super easy for me. I don't have to go through the hoops of getting appraisals and all that because I've already done my comp homework. I know what it's worth. So, Alan, I mean, it's just whatever you can get. I know some people who use credit cards and they just transfer the funds from one card to another until they sell the property. So it's just whatever the banks will charge. You can find private lenders, but I have found a lot of private lenders in the land business want half your deal just for funding it. So, be careful, but talk to a lot of people. As far as recommending a company for transactional funding, I mean, if you have a home, go to your bank or your lender and ask them to give you a home equity line. That's what I've done. But you could also go into many groups and just ask, I know there are a lot of people out there that want to fund. So if you have a deal, the money will find you. And I can fund. So I like to partner though. I like to strategize and help you with pricing and title and just all the paperwork and everything. If you work with me, that's what I'll be looking for. I want to be a full partner, not just a financial partner. Glenn Williford asked, unmotivated sellers, ditch them until later. Yeah, as soon as I figure out they're not motivated, it's thank you, have a nice day. And Regina, thank you for your comment. Looks like I've got one more question. Venu Vedre, I hope I said that right. Would you ever look at topography when buying lots? Yes, absolutely. I'm looking at a lot that's 10 acres but sloping around 60 feet from end to end. It's in a commercial future land use, but wondered if a developer would buy it, as it could be expensive to grade or level the lots. Well, so I don't get into any site work venue. I simply pass the discount on to someone who is going to do the site work. But I don't know if you've ever heard of Gatlinburg, Tennessee, but people will stick buildings in the side of a mountain. So I would not worry too much about a slope. Obviously, the steeper the slope, the more of a challenge it is. But there is still someone out there that will buy it. So I wouldn't give up on it. And so but I would probably target those commercial listing sites with your property. I wouldn't put it on a residential listing site like MLS if you're trying to sell it for commercial. Of course, it depends on the zoning and all that as well. And then Martin, I see you added another question. Do I send a second letter to those that do not respond the first time? No, I never do that because there are so many people out there and I'm really just looking for a situation. And so if they don't want to sell to me at my initial offer price, they're probably not going to sell to me at a slightly higher price either. Because I see you said maybe offer them a little bit more than 25%. So hope that helps. Okay, I see another question, Blake. What are my favorite filters to use on priced? Okay, I'm going to answer that, but I have to look up my list because it can be a lot. So make sure you're pricing with sold comps only, okay? And then my favorite filters, like, there's a lot, but agricultural, farms, multifamily, recreational, undeveloped, vacant land are some of my favorites. Of course, I filter by do not mail. I do not filter by tax liens or anything like that. I allow flood zones. I look at those and all deed types. So I hope that helps. Those are some of my favorite filters. Let's see. Dalton White, how many counties will you target in one mailer? I try to target like 4 to 6 for 1,500 mailers. Oh, I just realized I'm really close to the camera. So 4 to 6, I try to spread it out. And let's see. And then G Love asks, if you come across lots in an area near new development, would you contact local builders directly? Sure. Yeah, I definitely would. But make sure you have it under contract before you start marketing it because people will go around you if you don't have the deal. You need to have a contract in hand before you start trying to sell it. I was talking to someone yesterday. She's like, I had this great deal. We were ready to go to closing. We went to the closing table and the guy turned out to be a wholesaler and he didn't even have it under contract. And so that's just not right. Don't do that. Like I always send it to title before I send it to marketing. Make sure you know that you can convey the property before you start marketing it. But absolutely contact local builders or anyone that you think would be a good prospect. The pricing software I'm using is called Priced, PRYCD.com, and I'm only trusting them right now with 5 acres and more. And I use city pricing. I don't use geo pricing, in case you're wondering. Listen, if you need help, feel free to reach out to me by posting a question on this page or just send me a private message. Or you can email chris@landflipping101.com. I would love to hear about your journey into real estate investing. And I want to know what brought you to land and what are you hoping to learn? I have this training available that is just for beginners, just to get you started, get you direct mail pieces out the door, sending to prospective sellers. And then when you start getting those deals back, if you want me to help you, consult with you through the deal, you can partner with me on a joint venture. Let's get your land investing business moving forward, because you can do this, and I am happy to help. I would love to help you. All right, so thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next week. All right, bye-bye.